Hello, it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. I'm here with another channeled message. This is a specific message. It might resonate with you, it might not. All right, so when I was tapping into this energy, I heard rocky road and tumultuous. This energy feels very tumultuous. Somebody here is really, really up in their head. And for some, there's like this sense of everything crumbling around them. Like this, I just heard job loss, chaos, everything crumbling. That's a card from one of my decks. I'm pretty sure it's called an inferno. So for some, this person feels like they're an inferno. This is very karmic. It feels like an inferno of their own making, because it's like this person has been trying to outrun something, and it's something to do with their moon space. So there could be a secret here, like to do with like a home, a family. It could have to do with like their feelings, but they've also been trying to outrun their feelings. This, to me, honestly, it sounds like they're trying to outrun like doing the shadow work, taking that real deep look at their emotions, confronting their sense of insecurity or inadequacy or their fears directly, and instead they just try to suppress that energy, put some kind of band-aid over it. It causes this person to see themselves and the world through an illusionary way because they're trying to outrun their fear. And I think for some of these people, they've been trying to outrun some kind of consequence that is owed to them for some kind of, I'm hearing like low down, dirty, underhand, secretive energy. But I just heard God sees all things. Karma sees all things. So you can try to hide this from other people, thinking that that's going to prevent you from experiencing karma, but I feel like nope, the universe just noped this, and I'm hearing it's time. This person's been outrunning this for long enough. So whoever this is, and for some of you, I do think that this potentially could be you, but for others of you, this is another person or potentially multiple people in regards of their treatment of you. And there could be some kind of job loss that is karmically a part of this here as well. I don't know, but it feels like whoever this is that's like really, really up in their head, this next journey of their experience, I just heard the next leg of their experience. I don't know if there's something to do with a leg, but this next leg of their journey or their experience is a rough one. It's a rocky road. It is very tumultuous because this person's going to have to start doing the healing work. And so I feel like there's a lot of mental turmoil here. I just heard job loss again. So this could have to do with a job loss. There's a lot of mental, emotional, chaotic turmoil. This person could be experiencing an upheaval in their home environment. For some of these people, especially if they've been outrunning like for a long time and just maybe as a matter of habit, like this person doesn't stop to look at anything. It could be this is happening on multiple fronts. I don't know. But for others, it's just happening on one front or another. Like it could be a job loss. It could be some kind of emotional realization. It could have to do with a home space. It could be a secret has been revealed about a home space. Something here like that, but this feels very karmic. Now, whoever is up in their head, I feel like they're up in their head here about a third party. And there could have been some kind of message. Maybe it came from a third party. And for some of you, this is like, I don't know, like an eviction notice or something. So it came from like an outside source, but there's some kind of message that came in from some kind of third party energy here that's knocked them for six, is what I'm hearing. It like really put them on in their fear space, or it unearthed something that was secret or something was hidden. Maybe a secret came out about them. Maybe for some, that's why they're losing their job, or they've just lost like their family even, or like trust in a certain, I don't know. It could be something here like that, but it's this chaos has to do with a third party situation that they were involved in, or that they were a party to, that they should not have involved in, their secret involvement that they thought they had hidden or gotten away with. I'm hearing nope. They just keep saying that to me. Nope, absolutely not. But whatever this third party energy is, there's a sense of this energy turning around on this person, because I'm seeing them try. It's almost like they thought they were throwing a frisbee like at someone's head. I'm literally seeing this person angrily throw a frisbee at someone's head, which is absolutely inappropriate. It's vicious and it's violent. But there's also a part of it where it's like, oh, it's just a frisbee. Like, what are you mad about? But actually they were throwing a boomerang, and they didn't realize they were throwing a boomerang. And that's because we love spirit up in here. Yes, we do. This is why you don't go picking on people. I really kind of think that for somebody here was trying to pick on somebody that was not bothering them. And this is why you don't do that. But I feel like they thought they were throwing this frisbee at someone's head. This is a metaphor, hopefully. But it was a boomerang, and it like zoomed around and it hit them in the same way that it was intending to hit this other person, and the same effect that they were trying to bring out here, and possibly did bring out here in this other person. Although if it did bring out this effect, like if it hurt them emotionally, I kind of feel like they might not know that, because that could have been hidden from view because, again, we love spirit. But yeah, it's turned around. There's a couple of different situations here. For some, this is a work thing where there was some kind of hidden bullying, or maybe even like an attempt at like a mutiny or getting you fired or suppressing your wages, or maybe some of you, like your boss was stealing from you. I don't know. Like for some of you, this is a workplace environment and there were people that were hidden, secretive, and involved. And there could be a message that's coming in and it's boom, it's unlocking this. Or it doesn't even have to be related to this situation. This could just be very karmic and they just get a message that, well, their branch is closing down. It's like, you want to take a job from somebody else? Whoopsie doopsie. This wouldn't have happened this way if this person could mind their business. I just heard. Yeah, there's something so for some of you, it's a work situation, but it has to do with a third party and an involvement of a third party, potentially in secret behind your back, to try to undermine communication, and to put you on different pages. This was intended to harm, whatever this was, if this was a workplace. But for a lot of you, this is some kind of romantic situation. Or for some of you, this was both. I don't know. Take that however it resonates. My gosh. How low can you go? How low can you go? I just heard that. So, but for some, this was a romantic situation involving a third party. And there's a couple different situations. Now, I'm kind of leaning towards like exploring this. I don't know. Take this however it resonates. But I feel like there's this kind of, there are karmic lessons that are being unearthed here, or like that are being grappled with. And I'm getting this kind of shared energy. It's almost coming through like an anchor card kind of energy for this particular reading. And I'm hearing, when a man loves a woman. I just heard that. But no, I'm hearing there's a difference. And I am hearing when a man, but take this however it resonates. When a man wants to build with you and wants to set foundational energy with you and invest in a particular situation, and when he just wants to bait you into chasing him for his own admiration, ego purposes, attention, manipulation, and schemes. There's a difference here. And I think for some, this is a masculine energy that's learning that like, wait a second, I had love for this person. There's a different way I need to approach this person than just, okay, I want something casual, just something to boost my ego or to get attention. Because I think he took the same tactics and he messed it up, and I think he's realizing that. But for others, I feel like you could have been a third party here, and you could have confused a masculine giving you attention for him loving you or wanting to build with you. Because that's what I'm hearing is like, that's how you could get this confused, is if you mistake attention for love. So there's some kind of karmic lesson here about that in one direction or another. I'm also hearing a quote from Talladega Nights. Jean-Pierre was like the French race car driver that drinks his like macchiato while he's like driving a race car. But at one point he says, your injury is one of ignorance and pride. And I feel like this energy that's turned around on this third party, it's really of their own doing. Their injury is one of ignorance and pride, because I feel like they were chasing something. They wanted to compete. I really am getting like they could have gone after somebody that was not bothering them or was not bothering anyone. And it's because they had an agenda and they wanted to compete, or they had an agenda and they wanted to enact, and they were very underhand in the way that they went about doing that. I think it involved some kind of a third party. And I think they think they've broken their own heart here, but I can tell that we haven't gotten to heart energy with this person. Injury is really standing out to me. I feel like this was a narcissistic injury. I'm not saying this person is a narcissist or isn't. There's certainly been some underhanded things going on here. I think some of you would think this person's a narcissist and some of you don't think this person's a narcissist. They were certainly very self-involved, and whatever injury happened here, it was painful for sure, and possibly still is painful. There's a sting, and this is the energy that's got them up in their head, but it's a narcissistic injury. It's a wounding to the pride. It's a wounding to the ego in some way. It's not actual heart energy, not yet. But that's this tumultuous journey that they're going on is one where they're being kind of made to confront the reality of their own actions. I just heard, well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. Like they're being forced to confront who they actually have been in the situation, potentially who they involved in a situation. Because for some, this person tried to unleash some kind of vicious third party, possibly through lies or some kind of manipulation. This could be, I'm kind of getting the sense of somebody not outright lying, but they give an impression. They build up something and they try to, because they're trying to get someone to draw a certain conclusion. They're not outright saying it, but they're like doing that on purpose to unleash some kind of hammer energy on you, some kind of vicious energy. This was really like underhand, but for some of you, this is just cheating, you know? So I'm getting a couple of different situations here, and this is leaning more towards the romantic route. But again, if this applies to a work situation, take it that way as well. But okay, so there's a couple different situations, and they could apply in one direction or another. So the first situation that I'm picking up on is that this could have been a masculine energy. For some of you, this will be a feminine, but the way it's coming through for me is as a masculine. So, because there was some kind of active energy at the very least, but take this however it resonates. But for the sake of confusion, I'm going to say it's a masculine energy that you were potentially in a relationship with, or maybe there was a chemistry between the two of you, or he wanted a relationship with you. He felt like you were on different pages about that. And instead of being mature and upright in character, he set out to manipulate the situation. And I think that this involves some kind of message that he wanted sent towards you. He could have wanted you to discover a message that maybe he received, maybe he got somebody's number, or you get the idea, right? There's something here about a message energy, or he wanted you to receive some kind of message. That he really initiated, but maybe behind the scenes. And he wanted this message to hit you right in your moon space. He wanted this to hurt you. He wanted you to feel on shaky ground. He wanted you to feel fearful, and sad and scared. Potentially this had to do with an invite to a gathering or a party where he wanted you to see something. It's like this sudden shocking reveal that there is a third party that is involved or has been involved in this situation. This was a very manipulative move for control and dominance. He wanted to make some kind of quick move here. I think to bind you to him, to get you reliant on him. I think he wanted some kind of contract or relationship. Potentially this man wanted you to have to interact with him in some way. He didn't want you to have a choice about that. He potentially wanted to insert himself, especially if this is a work situation. It's like he wanted to insert himself in your business where he has none. That's why there's potentially a job loss here if there was a misuse of a job position or something. But yeah, wanted this to land, get you emotional and like defeated and out of like, I think you're a very strong, very dignified person. And potentially they wanted to bait you into some kind of undignified response or like an explosion. Maybe they wanted you to send some kind of angry message. And this was a sneaky way of them trying to get you to have an emotional response, because maybe this man felt you didn't have emotions for him. But maybe this man just doesn't understand strength and dignity, an introvert, something like that. But he wanted you to like maybe blow up or yell. And so did this third party. Whoever was involved here as a third party, they also felt that way. Both of these people are intimidated by you. And I just heard Spirit say, finally take this as the compliment it is. I feel like you've gone through something hard here. I feel like you've bossed up, you've processed this. But Spirit is saying these people did this because they're low down and they're insecure and they were intimidated by you. Both of these people. But this masculine that potentially set out to do this, I don't think that you responded in the way that he wanted you to respond. Even if this did hurt you or it made you feel unstable or wibbly wobbly in some kind of way, I think that you licked your wounds in private or like around people that you do actually trust and have earned your trust. And like it was hidden from this person. Like you were allowed to like grieve or have like your emotions, because this is extremely underhand. I just feel like you had some kind of divine protection. There's maybe some kind of agreement or karmic something that this person was being tested is kind of what I'm getting. And they didn't pass this test. You were a part of this test. You always knew there was a possibility that they were going to pass or fail. And when this person failed, I feel like Spirit kind of allowed you to process this and, you know, kind of was trying to bring in some kind of like soothing energy, give you the space that you need, that kind of thing. But I feel like you didn't have the reaction here. This didn't bait you into chasing. You weren't like weak and like, oh my gosh, like I'm desperate and I'll do anything. You weren't like that. I think you took this that you were on different pages with this masculine, potentially with a work environment here. I think that you realized that you were on different levels of maturity than this person because of the tactics and the methods that you both kind of use. I think you saw this pretty clearly. I also think that you realized that you and this person just don't share, potentially this is a workplace, I keep getting that. You and this masculine, you don't share the same vision, you don't share the same values or sense of purpose, and you don't want the same things out of this relationship. So I think you looked at that pretty square. I think you showed an immense amount of strength and dignity and independence. So I think you left the situation. You chose to go independent here in some way. And now you're standing in sovereign territory. You're building yourself up here. And I just heard you didn't lose your sweetness, which Spirit is saying that's a real win. That wasn't a guarantee here. You also didn't lose your sweetness. I feel like you don't have sweet energy for these people, like who are this man and this third party, you don't have sweetness. You don't have soft feeling towards them, but you certainly do have it for other people. Now, part of this energy turning is because after this masculine did this and you didn't respond the way that you were going to, or you didn't move in the way that he thought you were going to, he's now all up in his head about some kind of third party energy. I just heard coming to sweep you up. And he's done this to himself because he recognizes that you are, I'm seeing you as like the Nine of Pentacles, which for me is like pre-Empress energy, which means you smell good, shit is together, you're strong, you are independent, like you're right there, like you're ready, you know, you're like ripe for the picking here. And he knows that. And for some, there's this Page of Cups energy that he senses around you, or again, there's a lot of this like fear space that's causing him to see illusions. So I think he sees another energy around you. It's Page of Cups. It's sweet interaction, which you no longer give to him because of his actions here. But he sees you interacting very sweetly here. Potentially, he's watching you like potentially online, or maybe this is even in person. And he's all up in his head about that because he knows that you have a new offer. Frankly, I think you have more offers than this. Like, I don't know what this man is on about. I think I'm hearing like some of you have, I just heard 7. Some of you have upwards of like 7 people just like waiting for you. Like, he needed to really mind his P's and Q's. He needed to really, I heard, show up and show out here in like a, not this kind of way. But he sees another energy around you that he's up in his head about. Or for some, it's just, he knows that somebody else, he's afraid that you're going to basically take a new leap of faith here, like towards like some kind of new love energy. He could be trying to stop that or like whatever. But now he's like, he was trying to get you up in your head about a third party. Now he's up in his head about a third party. It's extremely karmic. It's just some kind of, I don't feel like you did anything to return this energy because, but I think you saw that there was some level of manipulation and there was some kind of like karmic attachment. I think, you know, with this third party, I think you know the energy is low between the two of them. And I think you feel like he and whoever, and she, potentially this third party, I think you feel that they were trying to escape being called out for their involvement for some of you, but they were also just escaping doing the work, approaching this in the way that they needed to. I think you were ready to do the work. I think there's some kind of sunken cost energy here where you're like, okay, even if you've already invested in this or you had high hopes for this or something, it's sunken cost energy where you're like, the more time and energy, you recognize something here about this goes deeper than you know. If this is a work environment, it's like this workplace culture is just shit. Like it goes deeper than you're able to deal with. I think you're conceding that. I just heard I made a mistake. Like you're just able to own up to like, I made a mistake. I thought this was one way. It's actually another way. And so I think you're now leaving the situation, and now whatever this is, like now they're having to realize that they made some kind of mistake here. And yeah, I think this person now is also in regret because they recognize that now you are on different pages, and that they put you on a different page than them, like their actions did. And they want to bridge this gap here, but like, what are they going to say that would ever override, or this doesn't make sense? Like what they did, there's literally like nothing that I can see that would ever excuse this other than I'm immature, I don't know how to act, and I did a vicious thing. Like there's like literally nothing that makes this make sense. I think this person was expected not to be seen in this aspect, or they just wanted to scare you a little bit is what I'm hearing. But I think this was potentially devastating for some of you, depending on what this was. So they're recognizing that now you are on different pages and you think a certain way of this man. And they're recognizing that you were listening to your intuition and you recognize this is like something deeper here. So that's one instance where somebody's like really, really up in their head about you. Or potentially you're this person that deployed this towards somebody here that actually you care very much about and actually deserve to be treated with kindness. I just heard they deserve the benefit of the doubt and they deserved a conversation and to be treated with human decency and respect. Now there's another situation that I'm picking up on here that has to do with this third party, which I feel like some of you are this third party and you're having certain realizations. There's this reckoning kind of karmic energy where you're realizing the truth about the situation. You're seeing it through a different lens. If you're not this third party, if you are like, I want to say this divine feminine, or if you are this masculine, then I feel like you're supposed to know like this third party is also having some kind of karmic reckoning where I just heard they can't unsee, they can't unhear, they can't unring the bell. So there's some kind of like message that's come in and it's hit them. I just heard right where it hurts and right where they intended this divine feminine to be hit, which is right in that moon space. So this could be destabilizing a home. It could be destabilizing, I think, their mind and their emotions here most of all. But there's this similar kind of everything crumbling, chaotic, very tumultuous, turbulent energy that has come back around, and now this person is reckoning with that. So this third party was very much trying to compete with this divine feminine. There's something hidden about that. They could be in quiet competition here with this divine feminine, but I kind of think that their involvement was hidden. Their involvement with this masculine, but it feels to me like this masculine recruited this third party. And I'm hearing like whether they knew it or not, but this masculine kind of recruited this third party. It feels very much like accomplice energy, confidant energy, their secret energy, collusion energy. This third party though thought that they were on the same page because I think he recruited her, maybe wanted to send a message here or an invite or something. But she thought that they both were on the same team and that they wanted the same things and that it was to inform somehow through like shock and ambush this divine feminine that he chose her. She wants very much, she's been hidden. So maybe this masculine is hiding her. And she feels some kind of way about that because there's an illuminated energy about this masculine's involvement with this divine feminine. And this third party has a complex around losing. I'm hearing the word loser, like being the loser. So she's very, very competitive and she wants to win. And this leads to it's very much linked to her moon space that she's been trying to outrun. So possibly an early family dynamic where maybe she never felt like she won. Maybe she always felt like the loser. Maybe she didn't feel seen in her family environment. Maybe she had a sibling that always like outshined her or something. But there's a complex here around winning and it stems from fear. I heard like some kind of deep fear of inadequacy, and it links back to attention. Remember what I was saying is mistaking attention for love. So for this third party, it links back to attention, and they mistake getting this masculine. It feels so good for this third party to get this masculine's attention. It feels like love. It feels like their birthday. Every time he pays them attention, sends them a text, pss, pss, pss. And I feel like there was this really like, pss, 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 hey. And so this third party was like lit up and was like, oh my gosh, this is intimacy. I've wanted this for so long. You finally see me. I'm the chosen one because we're sneaking around. And because you're confiding in me and because we have this secret together. I feel like you're choosing me and that your loyalty is with me because we sneak around this divine feminine together, whether this is an affair or if this is some kind of ambush. That's what this third party was thinking. But this third party is also manipulative and was manipulating, trying to get some kind of devil energy here in regards of this masculine. They also wanted some kind of quick results. And this is a very karmic energy. But it's driven by something very superficial. And they could have wanted a contract. They wanted to level up in some way is what I'm hearing, possibly with this masculine, maybe in a work environment, and saw this feminine as a competition or an obstacle. They saw this feminine as an obstacle. So they set out to, I don't know, maybe be in they could have wanted schmegs. They could have wanted to tie themselves to this masculine in some kind of, I don't know. It was very underhand. And they wanted to interfere. They wanted to compete and they wanted to drive a wedge. They wanted to undermine this divine feminine's confidence. They wanted to undermine communication, but they didn't want to be seen doing it. And possibly they wanted to be seen as being very nurturing. There's something secret here. So nurturing, being the confidant, they tried to weaponize and exploit their role in some kind of way. Maybe that's why there's a job loss. For some of you, that has to do with the job in this masculine's life in order to undermine their relationship here. And to put them intentionally on different pages. It's just that she thought that this masculine wanted her to, but she's learning a karmic lesson here. That's where there's messages come in that attention is different than love. And just because a man is giving you his attention, it doesn't mean that he wants to invest with you. It doesn't mean that he wants to build with you. And I think there was some kind of plan about like just continuing to try and monopolize this man's attention just one moment at a time, and every time she got this man's attention, it felt like a win to her because she felt like she could maneuver him away from his natural and very chemistry driven interest, drive, like drive towards this feminine and replace that interest with herself, and that she could manufacture that interest just through proximity, it looks like, through attention, through like just texting, being around, and undermining. I feel like there could have been gossip, like an injection of gossip here. She's really debased herself. If this was professionally, she debased herself professionally. But she's just really, and all of this was through some kind of like insecurity, and she wanted these two to be on different pages. So I think she colluded with this energy. I think she wants to tell herself that like she didn't know, or that she didn't, because what this man did was he essentially like he recruited her, weaponized her, threw her at this divine feminine. And I think she wants to act like, oh, I was just nurturing the situation. I didn't know that I was being weaponized, but she did, because she also felt intimidated and threatened just by this like divine feminine's strength. And I just heard charisma, and there's a dignity, there's a dignity, unflappability I heard as well. And she also wanted, I think there's a fascination here with seeing somebody so dignified in shambles. That's what they really wanted. They wanted, and neither, I'm going to say this, I think neither of these people felt like they had the pull to do it. Like they had the chemistry, they had something natural to do it. So instead they colluded with each other. But this third party is now feeling betrayed, because she knew that she was manipulating the situation, but she didn't realize he was manipulating her. She thought that they were confidants. Now there's been some kind of realization that they were on different pages, and that they wanted different things, and that he really wanted this divine feminine, and that he was just using her to try to get at this divine feminine the whole time. And I don't know how long this went on, because this man may have ended up with this third party for at least like a period of time where he may involved with her, but it's just because this divine feminine did what she did in this situation. But his original intention was to make this divine feminine jealous, and to try to bait her into a relationship. Everything that I just kind of said in the first round here. And this third party is realizing that. And I feel like they can no longer make excuses for their behavior, because, and remember I said this third party is competitive. And so they don't want to lose. And this definitely comes from childhood and some kind of deep fear of like, I think, being inadequate. So they feel like they have to manipulate to get a relationship or to get the things that they want. And instead of trying to learn their place in the world. So the lens that they should be looking through this as is like, this is not right for me. It's not, this is right for me. This is not right for me. This is where I go. This is where I don't go. And that's how they build their self-esteem the right way and in the healthy way. But instead they keep feeding this complex of like inadequate and underhanded behavior, and they feel justified in doing that. Justification is the root of all evil, because honestly, this person has this like, they rival. It's a trauma response, I think. And I'm not making excuses for this. This person shouldn't be behaving this way. But they're looking at this through, I don't want to lose. And there's something about like this divine feminine where I think she feels like she's the loser. Like that she's not, but she's involving with someone that doesn't have, this is about chemistry. I think they're learning like you can't manufacture it. It's just not there. And if somebody doesn't feel a certain way about you, then you really, you break your own heart if you try to pull the wool over your own eyes. And that's what they're realizing, is that this masculine never wanted to invest in them. And that they were just extremely underhand. And I'm hearing that quote from Mean Girls where Janice says to Katie after all is said and done. So it was at the party that Katie hosted, and it was like after all the events and she was running out, and Janice says, you won, Katie, like you won, you got everything that you wanted. So why are you still messing with Regina? I'll tell you why. It's because you're a mean girl. And so I feel like this person's realizing that they're mean and that they're underhand. And that they thought they wanted something here, that justification is the root of all evil. Okay, well, I'm justified in doing this. But something went like beyond doing that. But I feel like it's been karmic, because I feel like this third party is realizing that this masculine always wanted this divine feminine, still wants this divine feminine, and was trying to use them in some way to get this divine feminine or to get some kind of partnership or contract, proximity with this divine feminine. So this kind of blew up in their face. But they were so focused on trying to win. And I don't think I finished my thought on that, but it's the wrong perspective for this third party to have, is, oh my gosh, I want to win. Because they're just trying to go after certain, instead of looking at some things are for me and some things are not for me. And I go back to another reading that I did not too long ago, which is acceptance brings stability. This man doesn't want you like that. And he's in some low vibrational energy and he's trying to pull you into it. In order, like, this is, both of these people are trying to outrun their mental space. Possibly something here from childhood through using the other person. So this is extremely karmic relationship. And they got to let each other go. I don't care how friendly this is. This is hidden enemy territory. This third party's realizing this masculine's a hidden enemy to them. Everybody's having realizations here about this. I do think this third party is wanting forgiveness. For some, I just saw a King of Pentacles in my mind. So some kind of secret here could have come out and been revealed to a King of Pentacles. And now that King of Pentacles doesn't trust this person, this third party energy. So they could be wanting forgiveness from them, because they could have also been trying to escape something here. But I think that actually this third party does want forgiveness from this divine feminine. I think eventually. But has to confront like a lot of stuff here. But has undermined communication here. And maybe doesn't realize how clearly she is seen in this by this masculine, because this masculine was able to manipulate her. And she maybe thought she was pulling the strings. See how these are hidden enemies? They're both trying to use each other. It's not love. It's he just wanted attention. And not even her attention. Her attention was some kind of currency to try to get this divine feminine's attention. And that's the heartbreak here. But again, I go back to that quote, like, your injury is one of ignorance and pride. Because I think she was going after somebody here that was leaving her alone, that was unbothered, that was not bothering anybody. She wasn't asking for this. She wasn't bothering you. But you just felt intimidated by her. And so you went around this, and you didn't want to lose, or you didn't want to be seen as inadequate. So there's a lot of karma that's going on here in this space. I think I'm going to leave that there. I think for some of you, you're just being told that what these people tried to levy at your door by outrunning their own work, their own inner work, they're now having to confront this. So that's what I have for you. If that resonates, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye, guys.